The Northwest Mounted Police was created in 1873 in response to growing national concern about American incursions, particularly by whiskey traders moving into the southern Canadian plains.
The Grand March west by the Northwest Mounted Police in 1874 established a Canadian presence in the region, demonstrating to First Nations, Métis, and new settlers in the west that Canada was determined to defend its borders and establish Canadian law across the country.
The discovery of gold in the region and the influx of American traders and settlers further underscored the need for a formal law enforcement presence. The force was modeled after the Royal Irish Constabulary and was initially composed of 150 recruits who were tasked with patrolling the vast and often hostile frontier.
In the founding decades, when the force was active primarily in Western Canada, the Northwest Mounted Police represented the full reach of the Canadian government. They looked after policing matters, but also managed land registrations, public health, and many other government functions. The police generally handled their interactions with Métis and First Nations people with cultural sensitivity, though it's important to acknowledge that relations were not always positive. Efforts were made to cautiously introduce Indigenous peoples to Canadian law and authority. Tensions increased dramatically during the 1885 uprising, but the police played a significant role in calming the unrest and avoiding a repeat of the Red River Resistance 15 years earlier.
The presence of the Northwest Mounted Police helped lay the groundwork for the orderly settlement and development of the region. In 1904, King Edward VII granted the force the title Royal in recognition of their service, and in 1920, the Northwest Mounted Police was merged with the Dominion Police to form the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. This merger expanded their jurisdiction to include all provinces and territories of Canada, solidifying their role as the national law enforcement agency. The RCMP plays a crucial role in patrolling and securing Canada's vast borders, including the challenging and remote Arctic region. Their responsibilities encompass enforcing laws related to immigration, customs, and national security, as well as preventing smuggling and human trafficking. In the Arctic, these tasks are compounded by extreme weather conditions, vast distances, and limited infrastructure.
The force had a clear and highly public role in defending the borders of Canada. Police patrols often covered great distances in the extremes of Arctic winter. They charted the Arctic islands and established police posts in the most remote corners of the country, brought the Inuit peoples under the umbrella of Canadian law, and ensured that the Arctic remained under Canadian control.
The RCMP works closely with other federal agencies, such as the Canada Border Services Agency and the Canadian Coast Guard, to maintain a coordinated and effective border security presence. They utilize a combination of traditional patrol methods and modern technology, including aerial surveillance and satellite communications, to monitor and respond to potential threats in this strategically important area.
One of the foundational responsibilities of any national government is to define and defend its borders. This is one of the core reasons behind the founding of the Northwest Mounted Police. Subsequently, the government dispatched the police into the far northwest, which ensured that the Canadian law and governance was in place in the upper Yukon River Basin before the world-changing Klondike Gold Rush broke out in the region in 1896. The force ensured that the Klondike stampeders were prepared for the rigors of northern life and respected Canadian laws and regulations. The fact that an event as large and dramatic as the Gold Rush would occur with so little strife and danger is a testament to the presence of the police and the professionalism of the northern mining community.
In addition to their enforcement duties, the RCMP also focuses on building and maintaining strong relationships with Indigenous and local communities. This community-based approach is essential for gathering intelligence, fostering trust, and ensuring the safety and security of residents. Public expectations of the RCMP in rural areas and urban centers in Canada differ significantly due to the unique challenges and dynamics of these environments.
The RCMP does not mean the same thing to all Canadians. Most Canadian cities have their own police forces, and in Ontario and Quebec, there are also provincial police forces. In rural areas and smaller towns, however, the police play an outsized role. There, the RCMP are the primary agent of the federal government. Even today, in many villages and hamlets, individual constables and detachments provide far more services than they do in the cities.
In rural areas, Residents often expect the RCMP to play a comprehensive role in community safety and well-being. Given the limited availability of other law enforcement agencies, rural communities rely heavily on the RCMP for a wide range of services, from responding to emergencies and investigating crimes to participating in community events and offering crime prevention education.
Over the last half-century, the RCMP have established a different presence in cities across Canada. There, they are seen in a much more limited role, including airport security and various other security services. Because of these different urban-rural experiences, many urban residents often underestimate the significance of the RCMP in rural areas and the rest of the country.
In urban centers, public expectations of the RCMP are often more focused on specialized and strategic law enforcement activities. Urban residents typically expect the RCMP to handle complex and high-profile cases, such as organized crime, terrorism, cybercrime, and major drug operations. While urban policing also involves community engagement and crime prevention, the presence of municipal police forces in cities means the RCMP's role is often more concentrated on tasks requiring extensive resources and expertise. The distinct expectations in rural and urban settings reflect the diverse needs and priorities of communities across Canada. The RCMP has significantly influenced global perceptions of Canada, particularly through its iconic image and portrayal in media. The distinctive red serge uniform, broad-brimmed Stetson hat, and polished brown boots have become synonymous with Canadian identity, symbolizing values of integrity, bravery, and friendliness. Popular culture, including films, television shows, and literature, often depict the RCMP as steadfast and noble law enforcement officers, contributing to an international view of Canada as a country committed to justice and peace. This romanticized portrayal has not only elevated the RCMP to a global symbol, but has also enhanced Canada's reputation as a nation of order, civility, and kindness.
The RCMP is one of the most iconic symbols of Canada, highly regarded across the country and recognized worldwide. From the red surge to the musical ride, the RCMP have pride of place in major events and official functions, such as escorting the Grey Cup and participating in Canada's Walk of Fame ceremonies. The RCMP are perhaps the most instantly recognizable exemplar of Canada, standing strong for our national commitment to peace, order, and good government. The image of the RCMP has been created, modified, and even sometimes exaggerated and misrepresented through a wide variety of popular media. Dime novels routinely use the police as the most easily recognizable symbol of Canada. Hollywood loves the RCMP, and have portrayed the surge-wearing Mounties in dozens and dozens of popular films. Television producers have used the force in shows as diverse as the cartoon Rocky and Bullwinkle, the police procedural show Due South, and more recently the drama series When Calls the Heart. In many parts of the world, thanks in large measure to popular media, the RCMP are Canada, and Canada is the RCMP.
Together, these elements have helped establish the RCMP as a powerful cultural and diplomatic tool, fostering a favorable and enduring impression of Canada on the world stage.